Today we're going to talk about Jupiter and what does Jupiter mean in a chart. So stay tuned if that's something that you want to learn. Hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sindy V King. I'm a creator of Calling My King. I help transform women to create lasting love through Vedic astrology, neuroscience, and transactional analysis so that she becomes the queen of love. I'm very excited today to actually help you understand what Jupiter means. So keep watching if you want to learn more about Jupiter meaning in a Davison chart or composition chart or Navamsha or even a marriage chart of any sort. Just to remember that Jupiter is not only a makeup of the relationship only, so it breaks down and the blind spot of being in a relationship. So one big disclaimer that I want to talk about, just know that every aspect affects who and which planet is being shared at, next to, or looking at, based on the location. Therefore, when we talk about it, we're just talking about the character and what you can expect of it. We got to look at the overall health of the planet as well, the individual temperament as a person, to see if this relationship is going to work based on their belief system or their philosophy and vice versa. So let's break down what Jupiter means. In the core ruler, it is representing the Sagittarius and Pisces, and it's always representing of hope, possibly your husband, and most time your children, or even religions or belief system. And just know the ruler is the 9th house and the 12th house. So Jupiter is the most happiest planet, and he is the most happiest in Cancer. The reason why he is happy in this place because it creates culture. It's real estate. It has, and it likes to be in a nice, cozy home place, and it's all about validating the person's feelings and beliefs. So obviously, Jupiter is in a really nice place when it's there. It obviously has values and tradition, and it works together as securing it as an overall. Jupiter is happy in this place because it works like a family unit in a relationship, and it supports its visionary. They are carrying the whole idea of being promoted, and it's important to other people about the culture in the relationship. So Jupiter, you have heard as well, it's very optimistic, it's visionary, it was one of the expanding, it's about philosophy, it's very adventurous, it's about justice and passionate as well. So you can see those type of quality in there. Jupiter is not in a very happy place, especially when we're dealing this pandemic as well. You can see Jupiter in Capricorn. Capricorn is about restricting things and grinding. It's not very about future oriented. It's doing the dirty work, and Jupiter is not really happy in this place. Let's just imagine moving in with no furniture, and it's on its bare bone, and things are kind of falling apart, or it's just been outdated or old or very Victorian. It's just not up to par according to our certain life standards these days. And so how does this kind of reflect in a relationship? Most important thing when a Jupiter is in a good position, and especially in a relationship chart, you're going to notice the culture of the relationship. There is one. Okay, it's very easy, it's very smooth going. They have a strong desire. They're both on the same page on dealing how to raise children, having a clear philosophy of life, where you want to be adventurous, and what kind of future. You're all talking about the future stuff. You're not really about grounding things like, oh, I really, really, really want to live by the beach, in the ocean, next to the ocean, and I really want to eat organic food. Like, you're both on the same page on the whole idea. You're all about putting children first and not yourself. So that's all about the philosophy, understanding the theory of a philosophy as well. I think when Jupiter is in a healthy place, I have noticed that they're allowed to themselves to be present in the now, also being very hopeful in the future as well. You also are most likely not going to be escaping or disassociation. There's better ways of doing that. So the 12th house, we already know, is a house of isolation. And if your partner goes off or you go in isolation with your partner in the bedroom, that's part of it as well. Resting and recuperating and really connecting as a culture. The 9th house, obviously, when we look at it, it's very about traveling. It's about our philosophy, our belief system. It's about our higher education as well. So your guys are all going to be in the same place. Like, oh, I really want to travel there. You guys are going to go out and do adventurous things like that. Yeah, for sure. You're like, I think a culture having a vacation once a year is very healthy. You guys are both believe in that. What you expect when the Jupiter is not in a good place or is not really in a happy place, what I call it, I just see it like the whole what I see in the pandemic, and overall the culture really falls apart. Children is not really seems a priority. Things like that. You guys are not in the same place. You don't have the same ideas when it comes to traveling. You're not as hopeful as you can be. You don't believe in the whole idea of investing in education. That could be certain topics. That's what I've seen. There's a blockage of that idea. It's like, oh, I think we should go to marriage therapist. And your other partner is like, I don't believe in that. So you can go on your own kind of thing. As a couple, you also feel divided as a culture as well. So if you are in a mixed race culture, I think we're all in some ways, unless you are in a very deep traditional religious culture, you can see that they're very set in their own way. But when you are feeling divided, you don't know how to merge each other. You don't know how to come up with new ways, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I really like this about this culture. Let's embed it in the culture. It's like, oh, I really like the idea of celebrating Christmas and giving gifts. This is really great. We don't have to be Christian or Catholic or whatever it might be, or celebrating certain celebration during the calendar. And that goes with inside the home as well. What kind of, things that you feel comfortable about educating yourself and your children, and kind of let going on the family value and tradition as well. That's, again, it's about being hopeful for the future and being hopeful for the relationship. And when that's not present, you can see there's a lot of blockage in this area, and there's always going to be problems with children. I can see that as well. So I really hope I have summed up the idea. When you are looking at a relationship chart, you can see that in Davidson chart and composition. You can play around with it. You can see the makeup where it is, but always look at the 12th house and always look at the 9th house and look at it where the placement is. The ruler of Jupiter is in Sagittarius. Where is that Sagittarius? Is it in the 8th house? Where is it being hindered? Like, you want to know where it's sitting as well, and where it's Pisces. You can also have to do the combination and who's looking at. Astrology is very complex. There's only a very few people that can translate the relationship and understand it. I hope I have given you a better idea of what you can work with. And if you are looking at this, it's the same way you can also take this translation and put it in your birth chart as well, or the other person's birth chart. But I would just recommend working on your own chart, because the more that you improve your own chart, the better the person that you are reflecting on, because I see that projection that happens time over again and again. All right, I want to thank you and have taken the time to watch this video, and I'm hoping to have roll more astrology videos on this channel, and I really love doing it as well. So don't forget to share my video, like, and as well share with 3 of your friends who are kind of struggling in this area and have a better understanding what really Jupiter represents and where is it having issue, and maybe it gives you an idea to sit down and think about it. That's what I really want you to do. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.